What the fuck is up, YWC? It's me, your buddy, your pal, SpazPhoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and oh my god, I could come up here and I could talk about how Hell in the Cell was way better than it ever deserved to be, but I think it's safe to say after this Raw that Hell in the Cell is already far, far back in the rearview mirror. Whole lot of fun on this show. Not going to say that everything was a home run, but holy crap, this show was good, and we are well on our way to Survivor Series. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right, the November Classic is upon us. Alright, starting off the show, of course, the only way you can with our champion, CM Punk, berating the fans, telling them how they were all wrong, how they're always wrong, how he's defeated all of their heroes, and this was fucking beautiful. Runs down Rey Mysterio, runs down Randy Orton, John Cena, Ryback, and then he goes back to Triple H, Vince McMahon, etc., etc., etc. Then he plays innocent. You know, why are people blaming me? Why are people harassing me about the actions of a referee? I don't have any power over what they do, da-da-da-da. If you want to blame somebody, if you want to blame somebody, I can speak, I swear. Talk to Brad Maddox, the one that was hired by our crazy ex-GM, AJ Lee. He's cut off by Mick Foley, who basically gives him a whole bunch of rigmarole. You tarnished the tradition of the Hell in the Cell, and Ryback splattered you, and, you know, of course he comes back with, you know, Foley, last time you were here and you run your mouth to me, I kicked your ass, and goes off on a rant some more about how he blew it, and he should have fought Cena, and he should have fought admirably, and all this sort of thing. Punk proceeds to turn around to Mick Foley and says, "You can't talk to me about tradition. Look at what your tradition did to me," and shows him all the scars on his back from last night's Hell in the Cell, which was really, really nice. Then he challenges Foley to a Survivor Series match, Team Foley versus Team Punk. I mark the fuck out in the first segment. Oh, yes. Ryback comes out for no particular reason and chases off Punk, and that basically ends the segment. Ryback stays in the ring for a match with JTG, which unfortunately is a squash, because I'm pretty sure I'm the only JTG fan left on the planet, which really, really sucks. We have a rematch from last week's SmackDown. It's Orton versus Barrett. Barrett takes advantage of last night's damage on Randy Orton's arm, which he sells magnificently. Sheamus, Cena, take your notes. Orton hangs Barrett up on the ropes at one point, knocks him out of the ring. Barrett boots Orton off the apron in two very, very similar spots, but they both look very, very good. Barrett counters the RKO into the Winds of Change, and the second RKO does, in fact, do the job, and Orton gets the win. Very, very nice match. Didn't drag. Nice to see Barrett going up against main event level opponents, as opposed to, you know, no offense, but Yoshitatsu. Moving on. Hell No takes on the Primetime Players, and I don't have much to say about this other than Hell No, or Team Hell No, or Team, you know, Friendship, or Team Hug It Out, or whatever you want to call them. Do a whole bunch of goofball arguing. Kane basically takes on the Primetime Players by himself like a beast, and Daniel Bryan picks up the scraps, and they continue to argue. Not much to say there. Nice to see Primetime Players at least getting some TV time. We get a video package showing Brad Maddox's bad call on Raw a couple of weeks ago. We see a replay of him low-blowing Ryback from the pay-per-view last night, and it's all good. Vicky Guerrero comes down because she has proof of the affair between AJ Lee and Cena. And going into this, I thought, oh Jesus, it's just another excuse to get Cena on television and whatever. Vicky Guerrero does a tremendous job of making John Cena look like a grade A retard. Shows him inviting her out on a date in a video, shows them hugging it out in the back, them at dinner, them in a hotel room, which was great, and you could tell it was working. I would have loved to be in that crowd, because the next chant that came out of this crowd directed at John Cena was, "You are busted." Oh yes. John Cena tries to act tough to Vicky Guerrero, which doesn't work in a PG product because we know the men can't fight the women, etc. Ziggler comes out, basically tells off Cena just as well as Vicky did. Cena pushes him back on his butt and basically leaves the ring, making, you know, John Cena angry face number 2. Not a bad segment. It was funny as hell, except for, you know, as Alex would say, it's in the book, and John Cena has to get the last word, and it's just the way it is. Antonio Cesaro versus Kofi Kingston was billed as champion versus champion, which should be a big deal. And I was going to save this for the score and the fail and all that shit, They need to stop playing up the champion versus champion thing, because champion versus champion should be a huge deal, and they do it so much these days that it's not anymore. I really wish they would stop it. I really wish they would separate the championships, have separate feuds. They have enough time, they have enough talent to do it, so do it. But anyways, The Miz is on commentary. The match doesn't go more than a minute before Kofi Kingston, who's the only face in the entire friggin' situation, throws Antonio onto The Miz. Miz, in turn, gets up from the table and gives Kofi the beating he has deserved for a couple of weeks now. But because Kofi Kingston is the face, and all the faces get along, and all the faces are friends, R-Truth comes out, makes the save, and everybody's happy again, and we have R-Truth dancing and all this kind of crap. But Miz got a beat down on Kofi Kingston. It was good. It made me smile. Vicky Guerrero and AJ are talking in the back. You know, AJ doesn't have her general manager job anymore, but if Vicky Guerrero can be convinced, she'll let her come back as a wrestling talent. All she says is, admit that you had the affair. I just made a fool out of John Cena out there. If you admit that you guys had the affair, I will give you a job and you will be a WWE diva again. AJ says no, tells her off, goes to leave. Vicky Guerrero says, okay, fine, I'll hire you. Your opponent tonight is Beth Phoenix. Not bad. We haven't seen Beth Phoenix in a while, and AJ Lee's going to get back in the ring. I'm happy with all of this. We have a backstage, or not a backstage, but an out-of-the-arena segment behind the music with the three-man band. Oh, yes. I couldn't do it justice. I'm not even going to try and describe it. Jinder Mahal, you know, they're being interviewed as if they're a real band, and Jinder Mahal, with the most serious look on his face ever, tells the interviewer that he's the funny one. He's the prankster of the group. Oh, yes. And then, because this is the perfect low-card feud, we have the three-man band versus Cobra. This is the only time, this is the only circumstance I will accept Santino Marella on my television, is if he's going to take the fall to the three-man band. Baby! And indeed they did. Three-man band get the win. After a whole lot of 3-on-2 advantage, etc. They all came out. They're all out there in like rock star jackets and leather pants, and it's really, really horrible. You know, Jinder Mahal's got his turban on and he's got his short hair and whatever, but you can really tell Heath Slater and Drew McIntyre are doing really, really bad jobs of trying to be John Morrison. And it's really, really funny like that. I'm just waiting for them to come out eventually with the slow motion hair thing, and it'll be horrible, but great at the same time. We get the announcement that in 2 weeks, returning to the commentary booth will be Jerry the King Lawler. That's fucking phenomenal. The recovery time, the turnaround time from when he had his heart attack just before Night of Champions to now is remarkable. Great to hear it. I would love to elaborate on it, but I really can't, other than it's going to be great to have King back on commentary. AJ versus Beth. AJ thinks that going crazy is going to be enough to beat down Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix turns it around using all kinds of power, brawling with her on the outside. Well, the diva equivalent of brawling, you know, throwing her around a little bit and ragdolling her. AJ gets the quick roll-up victory once they get back into the ring. Vicky Guerrero comes out and starts round 2. Beth hits the Glam Slam and gets the win. Yeah. So I guess Vicky and AJ is their attempt at having a female, you know, Austin McMahon. It's not going to work, but, you know. AJ's back in the ring. Makes me a happy kid. I've been waiting for a long time. Sheamus comes out. Oh, dear God. This is how you want to start your third hour. And I'm sorry. I'm sure all you guys are with me. I love the 3-hour Raw. I love this much wrestling on a Monday night. But by the time you get to the third hour, we are all tired. So let's bring Sheamus out to put us to sleep. Oh, yes. Show was the better man, and I have no problem admitting it, and da-da-da-da-da. The stupidest thing I have ever heard anybody say in a promo. I didn't come to the WWE to win, I just came to fight. What? You didn't come to the WWE to win. I got nothing. Then he goes into, you know, his best Christian impression. One more match, I know I can do it, one more match, blah, 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 blah. Show comes out. Everything you had and more wasn't enough to beat me last night, and gets into a whole bunch of bad metaphors. He goes into this whole thing about you're bringing a cup of water to a forest fire or some shit like that. calls him a ginger, and Sheamus, because he's so clever, get this, guys, get this. This is the joke of the night. Oh, you called me a ginger. I bet you've never seen a ginger snap. And he hits the white noise on Big Show. So now it is official. Now, I've been saying it for months, but now it's official. Sheamus is John Cena. Why? Because he picked up the Big Show, and we're gonna act like it's the first time anybody's ever picked up the Big Show. Oh yes, Ginger John Cena clone on SmackDown. And the battle of I don't give a shit is going to continue. My God. Anyways, Vicky is in the back and tells Beth that she was a failure and fires her for not beating AJ Lee the first time. If that's how they're writing Beth Phoenix out of the WWE, that's complete bullshit. But I'm a bigger fan of AJ, I'm not gonna lie. Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara versus Team Rhodes Scholars. Now, this was a good match. This was a really, really good match. It just wasn't a good night to be Rey Mysterio. Just saying. We have great double teaming from Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara from the start, which turns into great double teaming by Team Rhodes Scholars. It almost resembles a tornado tag at some point with how much you had all four guys in the ring / in action on the outside, whatever. At one point when they do get it settled into, you know, single guys, one-on-one in the ring, etc., Rhodes works over Sin Cara's arm for a long time, which for a fast-paced match like this, it really sort of, it mixed up the style. It wasn't just fast-paced and spot finish. There was some submission, there was some psychology in the match. Imagine that. Rey Mysterio gets the hot tag, and this is where everybody, including me, would assume that he's going to start supermaning up. You know, gotta go in there and represent the super family, gotta go in there, represent the super team, SA, gotta represent the super team! But he botches a head scissor like a champ, ends up falling on his ass. Oh, yes. Then he tries to do something on the apron, ends up getting Sandow's knee in the face. Makes me laugh. Twice. Rhodes and Sandow double team Rey Mysterio in their corner for a while. Rhodes gets a running knee to Rey's face. Sin Cara comes back in, takes over doing the work for his team, gets a handspring elbow and an enziguri on Sandow, which looks really nice, by the way. Rey Mysterio misses the 619, but eats steel steps for his troubles. Sandow hits the terminus on Sin Cara, and Rhodes Scholars get the win. Like I say, Sin Cara impressed the hell out of me in this match. It wasn't a good night to be Rey Mysterio. I'm just saying. And I'm dangerously close to becoming a Rhodes Scholars fan, and yeah, my stomach is still kind of doing this when I say that. But anyways, moving on. We have, and okay, in all seriousness, guys, we talk about a lot of goofy shit. We talk about a lot of things we agree with, disagree with in the WWE, etc. There's a few times where you can just sort of sit back, have a feel-good moment, and just, you know, get that sense of pride with being a wrestling fan. It's like, okay, this is one of those things I can stand up and say, this is why I love wrestling, this is, you know, why I'm proud to be a wrestling fan, etc. The last time I said that was when I was able to attend the Edge Appreciation Night in Toronto after SmackDown. Another one was tonight, because as much as I've bitched and moaned about how they've used the Susan G. Komen Foundation to boost John Cena, and I didn't agree with it, and whatever, at the end of the day, it is a great cause. It is a great thing that they're working towards, even if they are manipulating it a little bit. They had representatives from the Susan G. Komen Commission in the ring, of course, with John Cena. The entire roster up on the rampway, Vince McMahon out on the rampway, you know, while John Cena makes his presentation. They present a check to the Susan G. Komen Foundation for $1 million. I can say whatever I want to about wrestling politics, but that's fucking amazing. Like, there's no getting around that. That's fucking amazing. It was a feel-good moment. It was one of those, hey, we're, you know, some of us are faces, some of us are heels, but we're gonna put that aside for a second, and we're all gonna band together with the WWE Universe. We're gonna fight this cause. It's all good. So, you know, take a second and feel good about being a wrestling fan. Put the bullshit on the shelf for a second and feel good about being a wrestling fan. That's what this was. you know, good job WWE, good job John Cena, Vince McMahon, Susan G. Komen Foundation, good job to everybody that went out there and got those shitty-looking John Cena pink t-shirts. You know, it's all good in the long run. Alberto Del Rio versus Justin Gabriel was the last match of the night. And this one surprised me, because when this match started, we had 15 minutes left in the show. Or so I thought. Gabriel has an early flurry, and then he quickly gets taken down, and Alberto Del Rio takes apart his arm. At this point, I'm thinking Gabriel's going to job to Alberto Del Rio, because Alberto Del Rio, yes, people shit on him because all he does in an entire match is work on the arm. But A, that makes a lot of sense, because his finisher is an arm submission. But B, Jesus Christ, if he doesn't come up with a different way to work the arm in almost every single match. So it's all good. Gabriel actually does have a second fighting flurry in the end of this match. Comes back with a whole series of kicks and strikes. Hits his own top rope version of Jericho's Lionsault, which he did at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view last night, which looks great, by the way. But Alberto Del Rio does counter it into the armbreaker, and Alberto Del Rio gets the win. Fantastic match, though. Nice to see Justin Gabriel, who I've been wanting to get a push for a long time, take a step up in competition. He might be losing, but he's losing to champions. He's losing to main eventers in better matches. So, yeah, his win-loss record isn't showing it yet, but he's taking a step up in competition. He's taking a step up in how we see him. That's a huge deal for a guy that last year was stuck on Superstars, stuck on NXT, stuck in dark matches. And now you've got pay-per-view matches with champions and Raw, I guess you could say main events against former WWE champions. It's a big step. I like it. Gabriel deserves it. There's a couple other people that do too, and we'll get to them when we get to them. Now we have the announcement. Even though I don't think they should have done this in the same night, I think they could have dragged this out a bit longer. We have the announcement at the end of the show of Team Foley and Team Punk. First of all, Punk comes out. He's smiling his ass off because he's the cover boy for WWE 13. He comes out with a WWE 13 hoodie on, which was sarcastic as hell. They bring down the big banner of what the game cover looks like. It's all good. Paul Heyman says he's proud to be associated with Punk. He's proud to work for Punk and do anything that Punk needs him to do. So he's assembled Punk a hell of a team. And I'm gonna do this kind of in reverse order because I like Punk's team better than Foley's team, if I'm quite honest. So they introduced Punk's team, which I'll get to in a second. They introduced Foley's team: Kofi Kingston, Team Hell No, Randy Orton, and that's it. And Punk goes on a tirade about how he's going to eliminate everybody else because it's okay. Let's get all the fan favorites on one team and bleh, whatever. I'm going to eliminate all those guys, and then I'm going to get down to you, Foley. And Foley says, yeah, well, I'd be the weak link if I was in the match. Ha, 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 ha. You know, evil, sinister Foley laugh. Introduces Ryback as the last member of the team, and then the two teams brawl. And then Ryback, takes out one of the members of Team Punk and just sort of stands there doing his own steroided-up version of John Cena angry face. But let's look. Guys, anybody out there that has watched my channel for more than one video, think about the people I like. Think about the people I back on a regular basis. Team Punk. CM Punk. The Miz. Cody Rhodes. Damian Sandow, I can forgive. And Alberto Del Rio. This team better fucking win. Because that is your A-team. I'm sorry. Kofi Kingston just stepped up in the low card, or in the mid card rather. Kane and Daniel Bryan, their gimmick is that they don't work as a team. Their gimmick is that they are dysfunctional. Orton, I love that he's in this match, but he's not going to be the focal point, so he's there as a mid-carder. And Ryback has been in the main event scene for a cup of coffee. On the other side, you've got Punk, multiple-time WWE champion. Miz, WWE champion that went to WrestleMania and defeated the Golden Boy. Rhodes, either second or third generation star, multi-time tag team champion, multi-time Intercontinental champion. Sandow, who's there because Rhodes is there, I'll give you that one. Alberto Del Rio, who has taken the biggest names in the WWE to task and not really broken a sweat. Logically, mathematically, storyline-wise, this team has to win. I'm excited about this match because there's a lot of new faces for a main event scene. You know, Daniel Bryan really hasn't gotten his due in the main event yet. It's always nice to see Kane resurface. Orton deserves to resurface. Kofi Kingston, it's exciting. Like I say, new face in a main event scene. Ryback is there, whether we like it or not. It's nice to see Rhodes get the recognition and be in a main event marquee match. It's nice to see Alberto Del Rio get back there as well. But in the end, Team Punk better win. Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't care what else happens at the Survivor Series. I don't care if there are other elimination tag matches. I don't care if there are other title matches. I don't think there will be, because the only championships that aren't involved in this match are the Divas division and the US title division. But I really, like, after the announcement tonight, we've jumped into Survivor Series, and Team Punk better win. If Team Punk loses, we kill all the momentum, and Punk versus Rock at the Royal Rumble means a hell of a lot less, and I don't want to say that. Team Punk better win. Because, as I do, in my video game, WWE 12, which is in the next room, I already have Miz and CM Punk as a tag team. They are the voices of awesome. This team are the, I don't know, the intellectual voices of awesome destiny. Yes, I'm going to be that corny with this. They better win. I love this Raw. I love that Hell in the Cell was better than anybody, including myself, expected it to be. I love the direction we're going in going forward. I love the fact that sometime between now and Survivor Series, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Brock Lesnar pop back on the scene. I love that we're looking ahead to the Royal Rumble and who The Rock is going to face, which is most likely going to be CM Punk. There's a lot to love right now in wrestling. There really, really is. I'm a happy guy. I wish I could be more excited. I'm really fucking tired. It's like 1:45 in the morning, and I need to get up in 6 hours-ish, and I haven't even finished recording this, and I haven't even put it up on the web yet. So who knows what time it's going to be when I go to bed. But hell of a Raw. I'm excited about the Survivor Series. What do you guys think about the Survivor Series? Put it down in the box below. Does anything else that happens at Survivor Series really matter at this point? Tell me. Give me your thoughts. Guys, 2 more days to get your questions in for my November Q&A, because in 2 more days, well, look at that. It'll be November. Other than that, I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep this conversation going. Tell me what you think about Raw, Survivor Series. Give me your questions for the Q&A. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, guys, I am very tired and I am tagging out. Bye.